Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me see. Okay, let me present. Okay, the presentation you can see, right? You can see the screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Claudia Iasmina, and today I will talk about my bachelor's thesis. The paper proposes a smart parking system that uses IoT in order to manage the existing parking spaces. Uh, in the purpose of this system is to increase human satisfaction while driving and looking for a parking spot. Um, an overview of the presentations, I will start by talking about the problem. Um, then I will talk about already existing approaches um, and how they chose to solve these problems. And then I will finish by talking about my view on the matter and the way I think this problem should be solved. And in the end, there will be a comparison between my view and the already existing views. Okay, in the beginning, I'm talking about the problem. Um, while driving, drivers usually are confronted with the problem of fighting parking spaces, especially in very crowded cities with a lot of traffic. Um, there are a lot of sources that cause these problems. First of all, it's the traffic, the big number of cars that are all trying to find parking spaces, but there are also sources like parking space optimizations. For example, a small car might park on a big spot, and then even though there are free spaces that are small, bigger cars will not be able to park there. Um, and that's why this is a problem. Also, this whole process of searching for a parking spot uh, consumes time and gas for the cars, which produces pollution. It's not very good for the environment. Um, so that's why I chose to um, implement a solution for these problems. In the past, there have been a few approaches to solve these problems. The most recent one was a study conducted in Urište. That's I think that's how it's pronounced, a city from the Czech Republic. In 2018, they conducted a study. In the city, they mounted sensors and cameras in order to collect data about the driver's behavior, in order to study their behavior and see what situations were ideal for parking. After the study, they concluded that in order for for a driver to find the parking spot easily, the maximum occupancy rate of the parking space should be 85%. Like only a maximum of a minimum of 15% spaces should be free. Um, Also, they found out that drivers usually use the parking spot for around an hour. So that's something I took in consideration when developing the system. Also, another study was focused on determining which type of sensors, like the hardware necessary for such a system. The study was conducted in India, and they found out that surveillance cameras and infrared sensors are the best, both cost-wise and implementing-wise, technology-wise, because they collect the most quality data for such a system. Okay. After studying the already existing approaches, I set the objectives for my approach. Um, optimizing the use of parking spaces, exactly what I said earlier, to make sure that a parking spot is occupied by a car fitting the parking spot, not by a smaller one. Saving time for drivers, that's general aim, because um all the stuff implemented in the system is aiming to save time for the drivers, and also improving sustainability and safety by reducing pollution. Okay, the architecture of the project. Uh, for the project, I uh, developed an Android app because that would have been the most efficient way to communicate with drivers. Drivers don't usually have laptops or like big devices with them, so a mobile phone is the best way to connect with the drivers. They have an app where they, after they log in or they register, they can choose a parking spot. Um, after the app is connected to a cloud real-time database that stores all the information about the state that the nearby parking lots are in. Um, and it provides the data to the app. The data about the state of the parking lots is collected by an IoT module, let's call it that. Basically, the cameras and the infrared sensors mounted in said parking lot. They collect the data, which is sent to a server that basically processes it and saves it into the database so it can be accessed by the app. Um, okay, when a client and user accesses the app, they can reserve a parking spot. When they reserve a parking spot, they can use a map which is provided by a Google Maps API to choose a zone where they want to park, which is nearby to them. And then they can reserve it for a certain amount of time based on their location. For example, if they are closer to the location, they might have 5 minutes to get to the parking spot, or if they're on the other side of town, the time might go to upwards an hour, because sometimes the traffic is really bad and it might take a long time to get to the parking lot. Once there, an infrared sensor senses that they are trying to enter, and then it triggers the camera to read their license plate. After reading the license plate, the system knows that the driver arrived there and will save the time of arrival in order to text them. The driver will go to the parking spot assigned to them by the system in that parking lot. After some time, when the driver is willing to leave, um, the app also has a feature with which they can pay, so they can avoid queues at the machines, the paying machines. Something that my approach brings that other approaches didn't mention, where was a driving guide system. I said that one of the things that this system aims is to improve safety. When the driver might be in a situation where the parking spot isn't really in an area where they can see well, especially while pulling out of a parking spot, they can select from the app an option, and the app will guide them to get out of the parking spot safely. The app uses the camera footage to see if there's anyone coming. So that's how the app does it. Okay. Uh, in the end, I want to talk about the importance of such a system, because we are living in an a car's age, where everybody has a car, or at least a car. Some people have a lot, and such a system is really important for also protecting the environment, also protecting us, and making the whole experience more pleasurable for everybody. Um, this was my presentation. If there are any questions,
Yes, if you can show us a demo,
can you repeat?
if you can show us a demo or
Unfortunately, I cannot. I'm on my work laptop. When I asked my coordinator whether or not I should show a demo, he told me most probably no, you shouldn't. So
okay,
I do not have it with me.
okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next,